I mean, did you take the money? At one stage you had $40,000 cash sitting in front of you. Did you take it?
Absolutely, yes. And it was given to me and I got it in the car and then returned it straight away.
Once the scandal broke?
As soon as I knew it was a scandal, not once it broke, Michael.
Money, fame, and turmoil, three forces that have trailed Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, for almost 40 years. To the public, she was the cheerful, flame-haired royal known for her humor and warmth. But behind the palace gates, her life told a very different story, one filled with excess, pressure, and controversy. From extravagant shopping habits and shockingly expensive teddy bears to questionable business ventures, even involving Bitcoin in the Nevada desert, Sarah's financial troubles read like a royal warning about unchecked indulgence. And now, the woman once celebrated for her charm is confronted with the fallout of decades spent chasing status, survival, and reinvention. Let us uncover how the Duchess of York's hunger for wealth and constant reinvention transformed her royal fairy tale into a lifetime of financial chaos. Before the palaces and flashing cameras, Sarah's life was surprisingly ordinary. She has openly talked about scrubbing toilets while working as a chalet cleaner, serving customers in a strudel cafe, and longing for something bigger. But everything changed overnight in 1986 when she married Prince Andrew, the Queen's favorite son. Their wedding became a global spectacle, a royal fairy tale watched by millions. The ordinary young woman was suddenly Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of York. But while the title brought prestige, it didn't come with endless money. Royal insiders say Fergie assumed that marrying a prince meant she'd never face financial worries again. In reality, the Yorks were already struggling, and the monarchy doesn't pay for designer wardrobes or glamorous parties. That misunderstanding would follow her for years. The first signs of trouble appeared almost immediately. After a trip to New York, Sarah returned to London with more than 50 suitcases, an enormous amount, especially in the 1980s. Inside the luggage was £33,000 worth of luxury purchases, including a teddy bear costing £515. Even airport workers were stunned, and palace staff were alarmed. It was only the beginning of a long pattern. Sarah often traveled with more than 25 pieces of luggage, spending thousands on baggage fees and sometimes packing entire trunks dedicated solely to hangers. Behind closed doors, palace employees whispered that the Duchess's spending habits were extreme. One former staff member claimed her dinner table looked like a medieval banquet every night, a full side of beef, a leg of lamb, and a whole roast chicken, even when she was eating alone. Her yearly expenses climbed to a staggering £860,000, including £150,000 on gifts, £50,000 on flowers, and another £50,000 on parties and entertainment. Personal trainers, stylists, and hairdressers were always on standby, often waiting hours while she slept late into the day. Royal commentator Jenny Bond once remarked that Sarah had a terrible understanding of money and an endless appetite for spending it. By the early 1990s, her debts had spiraled out of control. Reports claimed she owed £4 million to Coutts Bank, one of Britain's most prestigious financial institutions. Her marriage to Andrew eventually fell apart, and when their divorce was finalized in 1996, her finances collapsed with it. But even after becoming his ex-wife, Sarah refused to downsize her lifestyle, instead continuing to rely heavily on Andrew. She depended on him emotionally as well as financially. Their bond, which Tina Brown once described as a mutual self-destruction pact, kept them tangled in controversy and reliance. When her debt spiraled, Andrew stepped in. When his public image collapsed, she defended him. But that cycle couldn't go on forever. After King Charles III removed Andrew from royal duties and instructed the pair to leave Royal Lodge, Sarah's royal safety net finally disappeared. The woman who once lived like royalty suddenly faced a hard truth: there was no one left to rescue her. Still, Sarah didn't step back. She reinvented herself, this time by jumping into one of the world's most volatile arenas, cryptocurrency. In 2019, a company called Pegasus Group Holdings announced an ambitious plan, a £3 billion Bitcoin mining megaproject in the Nevada desert, powered entirely by solar energy. They named it The Hive. Sarah Ferguson joined as their brand ambassador, calling the founders visionaries. For her participation, she received £200,000 upfront and was promised another £1.2 million if the project succeeded. It didn't. Within a year, the grand idea collapsed amid lawsuits and accusations of fraud. Investigators alleged Pegasus executives misused investor money for personal luxuries. In 2023, an arbitration panel ordered the company to pay $2.5 million in damages. Once again, Sarah's name was dragged into a financial scandal. And that wasn't her only setback. She sold her Belgravia townhouse for £3.85 million, much less than she originally paid, claiming it was meant as an investment for her daughters. Critics, however, saw the same pattern repeating itself: overspending, risky ventures, and using her royal association to stay relevant. Even without the official Duchess privileges, she leaned on that royal shine, attending elite events, endorsing products, and presenting herself as an inspirational figure. But each attempted comeback seemed to crumble into another misstep. Her reputation as a royal hustler became impossible to shake. At the height of her financial struggles came one of the lowest moments of her life: the cash for access scandal. Yet one thing has always defined Sarah Ferguson: she refuses to disappear. She craves the spotlight. She once admitted that public attention feels like oxygen. So she bounced back, again and again. She wrote children's books, published self-help guides, endorsed weight loss programs, and even launched her own tea and candle brand. Every new project promised transformation, but few truly succeeded. One royal biographer joked, Fergie would endorse a fridge magnet if the payment cleared. Still, she kept going, hungry to rebuild her image. Her most recent reinvention came after her cancer diagnosis, which she discussed publicly on podcasts and interviews. Many praise her openness and strength, while others wonder if it's yet another strategic comeback. Now, without her royal home, with a diminished fortune and a tarnished name, Sarah Ferguson may be entering the most difficult phase of her life. And yet, she continues to live comfortably, attending exclusive events, wearing luxury fashion, traveling abroad. So how does she afford it? Some insiders whisper about wealthy friends quietly supporting her lifestyle. Others suspect she's working on a tell-all memoir that could bring in millions, revealing royal secrets the palace would rather stay buried. Whatever the truth, one thing is undeniable: Sarah Ferguson's story is far from finished. Every time she's counted out, she returns, older, wiser, but just as bold. And each return comes with its own cost. As one palace staffer once put it, Sarah's greatest love wasn't Andrew. It was the lifestyle, and she'll protect it at any price. So what do you think? Was Sarah Ferguson undone by misfortune, or was she the architect of her own downfall? Her financial collapse wasn't sudden, it was decades in the making. She remains a royal paradox, a woman constantly reinventing herself, yet forever chased by her own decisions. Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from behind the palace doors. Because in the world of royalty, fairy tales rarely end with happily ever after.